Hello, this is Scott Stack doing some math today in geometry. We're going to look at some algebra review. Right and graph equations are fine. So, hopefully remember the slope-intercept form, that y equals mx plus b stuff. Where m is the slope. And b is the y-intercept. Okay, and then when we graph these, so to graph, we plot the y-intercept, which is 0, comma b. Remember, the y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. And then use slope to find more points. The standard form, ax plus by equals c. So you can either find intercepts or solve for y. And then we have point slope form. That's when they give you a point. So y minus my y coordinate equals my slope times x minus my x coordinate. And ultimately, you change this into y equals mx plus b form. Okay, the x-intercept is the point where it crosses the x-axis. So your y value is 0, and then for your y-intercept, your x value is 0. Point where it crosses the y-axis. So write an equation in slope-intercept form of the line shown. So first thing we need to do is find slope. And remember, that is the difference rise over run, the difference of your y's over the difference of your x's. So if I call this one x1, y1, and x2, y2, I'll get negative 1 minus 3 over 2 minus 0, which is negative 4 over 2, which is negative 2. Now that we have our slope, we need to find the y-intercept. And where it crosses the y-axis is right here at 0, comma 3. Next step, we make our equation. So y equals mx plus b. So y equals our slope, which is negative 2x, plus our y-intercept, which is 3. There's our equation. Write an equation of a line passing through 1, comma negative 1 that is parallel with the equation y equals 2x. So it's parallel to this equation. So all we need from here is the slope. So parallel means same slope. So the slope of our line is 2. So find the parallel slope. M equals 2. Step 2, y-intercepts. Now, they don't give us one, so we have to use point slope. Okay, so y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, they gave us a point, so x1, y1, and we figured out our slope. So let's plug everything we know in. Y minus y1, which is negative 1, equals m, which is 2, times x minus x1, which is 1. So y plus 1 equals 2x minus 2. So now I get y equals 2x, subtracting 1 from both sides, 3. Alright, let's do some more. Write equation in slope-intercept form of the line in the graph. So once again, find the slope. That's the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. x1, y1, x2, y2. Negative 5 minus 1. 0 minus 2. Negative 6 over negative 2 is a positive 3. Y-intercept. It's shown for us. It crosses at 0, comma, negative 5. Step 3, y equals mx plus b. Y equals 3x minus 5. Okay, parallel. So find the parallel slope. So in this case, it's negative 2. Okay, and then part 2. Do you know the y-intercept? No. So use point slope. And once again, that is y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. So y minus 5 is equal to negative 2 times the quantity x minus 2. Okay. So I'll have y minus 5 equals negative 2x minus 4, because this becomes positive, and a positive times a negative is a negative. I'm going to add 5 over to both sides, and we'll get y equals negative 2x plus 1. Alright, the only difference in this example is it now perpendicular. So we got to find the perpendicular slope. Okay. So the slope of this line is negative 3. So negative 3, to find the perpendicular slope, it's opposite reciprocal. So opposite means if it's negative, it becomes positive. So negative 3 becomes positive 3. And then reciprocal means flipped. So we flip it over the fraction there. So 1/3 is our slope. And then once again, do we know the y-intercept? No, so we're going to use point slope. So y minus 2 equals 1/3 of x minus 3. There's our point at the beginning there. So 1, where y minus 2 equals 1/3 of x minus 1/3 of 3, which is 1. And then we add 2 to both sides, and you'll get y equals 1/3 x plus 1. All right, one more to go, I think, for this one. Oh, no, there's more. All right, here we go. Write the equation of a line passing through -8, -2 that is perpendicular. So find the perpendicular slope. This one is 4. And then opposite reciprocal is -1/4. And then we're going to use y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Here's my point, x1, y1. So I have y minus 2 equals m, which is -1/4 times x minus 8. Okay, so I have y plus 2 equals -1/4 x plus 8. So -1/4 of 8 is 2. Subtract 2 from both sides, and I'll get y equals -1/4 x minus 4. All right, word problem, graph. Graph models the total cost of renting an apartment. Write an equation of the line. Explain what the y-intercept represents. So step 1, renting costs. Okay. Well, obviously, the longer you stay, the more it's going to cost. Well, let's look at the slope. So first thing, always find your slope. That's that whole y2 minus y1. So 2,000, or let me label x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 minus y1, 1250 minus 2,375 over 2 minus 5. I'll get -3 on the bottom, and then at the top, I'm gonna get -1125. So that comes out to be $375 per 1 month. And then step 2, find the y-intercept. It's on our graph here. It's at 500. So 0, 500. Step 3, write our equation. So y equals $375 per month plus an initial 500. So the slope is how much you pay each month. For rent. And then the y-intercept is basically your down payment. They might call this a security deposit. And they usually do this when you first sign the rental contract. Pay $500 down. Make sure they get their money's worth so you don't, stay for a month and just dip out. And make sure you pay for the first month, basically. And then make sure you don't wreck the place. Graph an equation in standard form. 2x plus 3y equals 6. Use the intercepts. So, I don't know if you remember this, so when we were using the x-intercept and the y-intercept, the x-intercept means y equals 0. So we're going to plug y equals 0 into this equation. I have 2x plus 3 times 0 equals 6, so 2x equals 6, so x equals 3. So I go to 1, 2, 3, and then make a dot. For the y-intercept, it's very similar, except that we set x equals 0. 2 times 0 plus 3y equals 6, so y equals 2. So I go up 2 and make a dot. And then, this is a bit small, but just connect the dots and draw your line. Alright, you can buy a magazine at a store for $3. You can get a yearly subscription to the magazine for a flat fee of $18. How many magazines do you need to buy for the yearly subscription to be a better deal? So if this is a monthly magazine, then you need to buy, I wonder if that's what it is. It's a monthly magazine. Otherwise, that's really cheap, $18 a year. And you can just get whatever magazine you want. Or maybe you get one a month. Well, whatever it is, let's assume you get one a month. And this is a monthly magazine. So you can buy a magazine at the store for $3, or you can get a yearly subscription for $18. How many magazines do you need to buy for the yearly subscription to be a better deal? So model each situation with an equation. So you can either buy as many magazines as you want at $3 a piece, or you can have this monthly or this yearly subscription of $18. So let's graph both of these. So here's y equals 18. Y equals 18 is a horizontal line. And then y equals 3x. So in here, we follow our slope. We start at 0 and then go up 3 over 1, up 3 over 1. So this graph is nice to us. And then we draw our line. And then we have an intersection. Well, you can't have negative magazine purchases. So that's the point there. And that intersection is 5, 18. Or 6, 18. There we go. For how many magazines is the yearly subscription a better buy? When you buy more than 6 magazines. Now, you didn't really need a graph to do that, but we're giving you an easier example to show you that you can do it with more complicated stuff, more complicated formulas. When you buy 6 or more than 6 magazines, and that is all for today.